You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Ole Miss Live. I am your host, Steven Willis, and we are going to kind of react to the ranking show whenever it starts. It's getting ready to begin. Thanks to everybody for joining us. This should be a pretty decent ranking weekend for Ole Miss, and I'm pretty excited about that. But before we get started on everything, I want to have something that's been on my mind, and a lot of that has to do with the betting line that is against the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's been favored by 2.5 points essentially since the game out on Sunday. But if you look at these statistics and go into granularly look at what's happening, Georgia's got 88% of the money and 87% of the bets. Now, let me explain to everybody. Vegas does not just pick that this team is going to be better than the other team. They don't do that even a little bit. They want 50% of the money on each side because that way, no matter who wins, the casino wins. Remember, the joke, the house always makes money. Well, this is a situation just like that. So when the Vegas is intentionally not moving the line, when all of the bets are coming in on one side, that leads me to believe that they know something. And they think that something's going to happen. The weather could be weird. Maybe they're just waiting to see exactly what happens in the next couple of see what the weather and all that could look like because it's supposed to rain. I think the rain chance on Saturday is 70%, but it's not going to be because of the tropical storm that's in the ocean. Not even coming ashore until Sunday at about noon. So I don't think that's going to affect what's going on. It would be a normal rain type event if anything happens. But I do think Ole Miss has the advantage in the rain. Genuinely think Ole Miss has the advantage in the rain because neither team is going to run the ball really effectively against the other team's defense. But Ole Miss, I trust Jackson Dart throwing the ball more than I do a lack of confidence Carson Beck, who has thrown 11 interceptions in SEC play this season, throwing a wet football. That's just my opinion on that. I think Ole Miss has a legitimate shot to win this football game. Now, Georgia's got the most talent of any team in the whole country. It's not going to be easy. But this is a situation for Jackson Dart to cement his legacy, for Lane Kiffin to get his big-time win, and for Ole Miss to take a step to basically clinching their playoff destiny. All of that is on the table for Ole Miss. We looked at the beginning of the season. Basically, at the end of the Penn State game, we started about the Georgia Bulldogs. At that point, all the fan base was pointing to this game. Can Ole Miss get to this game with everything on the line? Well, that happened. There was hiccups along the way, but it happened that the game is meaningful to Ole Miss. So we'll see Saturday which Ole Miss comes out. Can Ole Miss run the football? We've heard about a little bit of Thomas's backstory today. We've seen the depth chart of Thomas and Ulysses Bentley and Matt Jones at running back. We're curious about that. We're waiting to see if Trevor Etienne for Georgia is going to play, so that's relevant as well. So we will see exactly how that goes. I'm pretty fired up about what Ole Miss can do in this game against Georgia. They're going through all the pregame stuff of ESPN talking about, their little, I don't know, self-love thing that they do about the ranking show and showing the committees in a room and all of that good stuff. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Whenever it happens, I will put the rankings up for Ole Miss pretty much as soon as I can. I will tell you that. I will react to it. And any surprises that happen while we're on the air, I'll react to that as well. But I do want to say Vegas knows something about Ole Miss and Georgia. I don't know what they know. I don't know why they're doing this, but the fact of the matter is they seem to be doing it. Georgia has 88% of the money on the Georgia Bulldogs, betting on them, favored by 2.5 points. That means the line should move to 3.5, 4.5, just like I thought it would. If you heard me earlier in the week, I talked about I thought the line was going to open small. It was going to get a little bit larger as the week went on, but that line is not moving. And Ole Miss fans need to honestly think about what is going on and what can happen for the Ole Miss Rebels um, in this. Like I said, I think Ole Miss has a really good shot against the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia plays a really good game once a year. No, that's happened against Texas. Now, if they play it twice a year, if they play their best, there's not much Ole Miss, if we're going to be honest. There's not a lot they can do if they but if they play a little bit down and Ole Miss plays its best, all of a sudden that goes up. If you want to look at it, it's like a bell curve. Georgia's just a little bit higher than Ole Miss's, which means if Georgia gets everything going right, there's not a lot that Ole Miss can do. Georgia is the most talented football team in the entire country. They're not playing like it. They're not the best football team in the entire country, but they are the most talented. So if they turn the ball over, they have penalties, they play not clean, Ole Miss can play best and go get over the top of them. That's the reason this line is so small. That's the reason that everything is going Ole Miss's way in this game. If you look at people talking about prognosticating, and also everybody saw the offense against Arkansas. For Georgia fans that are Georgia fans that are tuning in, just know that basically we have a situation where 3 of the Ole players were out against Arkansas and almost 63 points. Now, balls are going to be problematic. You have to have a deep ball to compete against Kirby Smart, and that defense you always have. That has always been a major thing. The problem happens to Ole Miss when Ole Miss relies on it too much. When Ole Miss relies on it too much, it can become problematic, and all of a sudden, it's a lot of second and tens and third and tens. And we've talked about on the podcast the other day, you do not want to live in second and third and 10. You just don't. If you do that, you're not going to be very successful. That's just the way it is against that Kirby Smart defense and the talent that the Georgia team has. So Ole Miss does need to stay on schedule. We talked about that. Ole Miss does need to hit judiciously deep shots. They under no circumstances need to go for it minus territory, in their own territory. I don't care what the yardage is to get a first down. Put the ball and play defense. With the weather being what it is, you saw that it can help you out. Count on Frazier Messine to do the things that you need to have him do. If that happens, you are going to be all right against the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia coming into Oxford, I sat in that stadium in 1993. The last time Ole Miss had a defense as good as this one. In 1993, I sat there with Cassius Beware basically beheaded Eric Zier. Abdul Jackson picked up the ball and ran it in for a touchdown, and Ole Miss ended up winning that game over the Georgia Bulldogs. I was in the stadium for that game. That makes me very happy. All right, the rankings results are coming out right now. Army at number 25. That's good for Army. Good for the Black Knights getting in the top 25 in the playoff rankings. They deserve it. They're 8-0. They're a good football team, a genuinely good football team. Missouri comes in at number 24, so they do make it into the rankings after falling out of the AP poll, even at 6-2. That probably bodes well for Ole Miss a little bit later on down the line as well. No Brady Cook, though, it's problematic. Drew Pine is not a very good quarterback. Alabama kind of had their way with the Missouri Tigers. I think Oklahoma might have an advantage against Missouri. Clemson at number 23 comes in at number 23. Their playoff is basically done at number 23. To be real, I don't know if Clemson even has a path to get back into it. Louisville comes in at number 22. That is a big matchup for the Cardinals. That is all for them. They're 6-3, ranked ahead of Clemson. I think that is relevant because what's going to happen is Ole Miss is going to be behind LSU likely. That's the way this looks for me. Washington State, number 21 of the Pac-2, I guess the top 2, however you want to call it. That is a good deal as well. We're going to open up the comments a little bit. I hope the audio has cleaned up as well as it can. I do appreciate that. Um, if you have any comments, please comment in the comments and put where you're commenting from, if you would. Colorado. So the top 25, 20 through 25 is Colorado, Washington State, Louisville, Clemson, Missouri, and Army as the bottom half of the ranking. Hope the audio has cleaned up. I forgot to close a program that should have made it a little bit better. So I hope that is better. So I'm sorry about that. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss is going to land somewhere around 15, if we're going to be honest. That's what I'm projecting. Colorado or Kansas State is number 19 on the list. That is awesome. Kansas State losing to Houston was low key big deal for Ole Miss. Pittsburgh, number 18. So we're getting into the area to where we should start to think about seeing Ole Miss up here. Let's see, number 17. I'm Iowa State, number 17. 16. Who would that be potentially? I think 15 or 14. Marcus Hopkins says that 15 or 14. That's exactly where Ole Miss needs to be, and Ole Miss comes in at number 16. And I guarantee you, LSU is going to pop up. The LSU game is what's holding Ole Miss back. Ole Miss has Alabama and the LSU game. One of them is going to lose. Georgia and Tennessee. One of them is going to lose, and Ole Miss has an opportunity to move up against the Georgia Bulldogs. Ole Miss doesn't win against the Georgia Bulldogs. It's kind of all moot to begin with. So number 16, Ole Miss, a win over Georgia. You're probably going to pop up 12, 11, that time frame. And you also have the game LSU Alabama to play. You also have the Georgia-Tennessee game. There's the LSU thing. That's exactly what happened. They used head-to-head. Ole Miss needs the Georgia win, as everybody knows, to be a serious contender for Ole Miss number 16. That is pretty awesome as well. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to do a couple of reads, but when we come back, we are going to talk and react a little bit to being number 16 in the college football playoff rankings. Stick around. Guys, sometimes those intimate moments happen when you least expect it. You always want to be ready to perform with confidence. But if you're dealing with ED that can feel like added pressure, that is where HIMS comes in. HIMS provides access to treatments to help you stay hard and last longer, whether you're ready for whatever the moment strikes. HIMS is changing men's health care by giving you access to affordable sexual treatments right from the comfort of your couch with doctor trusted ED treatments, including chewable hard mints, generics from Viagra and Cialis, and up to 95% less money. HIMS makes it simple and affordable to get the help you need. It's 100% online. There's no need for awkward doctor visits. Just answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option for you. If prescribed, your medication ships discreetly and directly to your door. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, HIMS has helped many men find the confidence they need in the bedroom, and they can help you too. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/lockedon. That's HIMS.com/lockedon to explore your personalized ED treatment options. Keep in mind, the products mentioned are chewable compounded products that haven't been verified by the FDA for safety or effectiveness. Prescriptions require an online consult with a healthcare provider to determine appropriate restrictions apply. Visit the website for detail and the important safety information. Subscription is required. Price varies based on product and plan. Take control and feel confident. Try HIMS today and be ready. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's number one sports book, because right now, new customers can get $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place those live bets on the NFL all in one place. Ole Miss is currently at a 2.5-point dog to the Georgia Bulldogs, and a line that I really expected to move, but it's not going anywhere. It's gotten pretty stable. I don't know what's going to happen. The hunch is eventually it's going to start moving a little bit. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunt and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, so they're giving the top 12 right now. Rundown of it. Number 12 is Boise State. That's the G5 team. Number 11 is Alabama. Number 10 is Notre Dame. We have a question here from RI's Music. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Does Ole Miss want LSU or Alabama to win? And I don't think it matters because the loser of this game is going to be out of the playoffs. Alabama likely doesn't have an opportunity to lose unless you think they're going to drop their FCS game or they're going to lose to the Auburn Tigers, which is probably not going to happen. LSU, whoever wins this game is just important what it does. LSU winning the game move them up a little bit. LSU losing the game would potentially remove them from the playoffs, remove them out of that head-to-head conversation. So maybe Ole Miss Alabama, because Alabama has the Georgia on their schedule. You want that to look as good as possible. And it is what it is. I'm sorry about the audio. Apparently, it's not doing very well. My wife just came in and told me that. I do apologize for that. We'll try to make sure it's okay the next time we live stream. But there's been wires crossed that's going on. So I do apologize for that. You have a lot of pretty good teams. Indiana has a chance to go 11-1 or 12-0 and not play a team with a single vote in the top 25. Talk about a dream schedule. Indiana kind of has it. We'll see what happens. But Indiana comes in at number 9, Notre Dame number 10. BYU comes in as the number 4 seed, even though they're probably the 7th team in the rank. They were the conference winners. The buys into the quarterfinals as well. Go Team says this line feels like a trap. I want to do Ole Miss money line. Yeah, it's weird. It is very fishy about this line. There's nobody and no way you can get around this. It is very fishy about this line right now. It just is. And I like to think that I know what's going on and what's happening, but I just don't right now. SMU is up at number 13. Texas A&M is at number 14. Texas A&M, they got the tiebreaker over LSU. LSU was 15, A&M was 14. Ole Miss needs to get LSU out of the conversation, so jump both of them. If LSU gets out of the conversation, Ole Miss South Carolina game to go over Texas A&M, and they'll probably in that round as well. As Boise State might get a bye, that's possible. I mean, it is because BYU is the 4th ranked conference leader at the moment. So Boise State catching BYU, that's not outside the realm of possibility. If we're going to be completely honest, that's completely not outside the realm of possibility. So far I like these playoff rankings. I mean, like I said, anybody that remembers 2014, Mississippi State was number 1 and Ole Miss was number 4 and Auburn was number 3. None of them made the playoffs when it was over. Texas is the 5 seed. Tennessee is the 7 seed. So they're showing up as well. I'm curious to see who the 5 would be. I guess Penn State. I guess they would do Penn State maybe. Texas being as low as they are, that's interesting. That's at least interesting. I think the number 1 team is probably the Oregon Ducks. Number 2 is the Georgia Bulldogs right now. And Georgia does belong. Like I said, they have problems. We talk about how Ole Miss can win the game on Saturday and how that might work, but that doesn't mean Georgia's not really good. Anyway, when we come back, we will discuss the very end of the playoff rankings as well. Stick around for that. Hey, everyone, let's talk about Prebiotics pre-alcoholic probiotic drink, the world's first genetically engineered probiotic designed by PhD scientists to tackle those rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's actually this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for how you feel the next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break that byproduct down so you can wake up feeling great. I'll admit, I was a little bit skeptical at first. I decided to give Z-Biotics a shot before a night out with friends. I made the first drink in the evening, and the next day, no sluggishness, no headache. I felt ready to tackle my Saturday morning hike with zero hesitation. So here's how it works. Drink a pre-alcohol drink as your first drink of the night. Then drink responsibly, of course. Hydrate. Get a good night's sleep. And then enjoy tomorrow. Wake up refreshed and ready to go to take on the day. Want to try it out for yourself? Go to zbiotics.com/lockedoncollege and use the code LOCKEDONCollege, all one word, at checkout. Get 15% off your first order. And with a 100% money back guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. If you are unsatisfied, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember that's zbiotics.com/lockedoncollege. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege, 15% off. Start feeling your best after a night out with Z-Biotics. Game Time is the place to get your Ole Miss tickets. They have killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from receipt, and the lowest price guarantee. Game Time can be out of buying Ole Miss. There's not a bad seat in Vaught Hemingway Stadium. There's just not. But Game Time makes it where you can see exactly what the view is from that seat, and even in they have the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, etc. Take the guesswork out of buying Ole Miss tickets with Game Time with this the most anticipated season in Ole Miss history. I might be able to help you out with tickets as well. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And create an account with code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE, $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, thanks for tuning in. The Miami Hurricanes coming as the number 4 seed, the Georgia Bulldogs, the number 3 seed, Ohio State Buckeyes, number 2, Oregon Ducks, number 1. So we'll see exactly how it goes. That big win that Ohio State had over Penn State, I don't remember seeing Penn State on this list, so maybe I need to see what I missed there. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Yes, I do want to apologize for the audio. There's nothing I can do, but I do want to start the stream over. Um, it, it is a mistake made whenever I started up. So we will fix that before the next stream. We're about to go off the air in about 5 minutes anyway. So I do apologize for that. What do you think is a more favorable matchup? Ole Miss's D-line versus Georgia O-line, or Georgia's D-line versus Ole Miss O-line? I think it's pretty similar, honestly. Ole Miss's D-line is probably the best D-line that Georgia has played against this season, and Georgia's D-line is probably the best D-line that Ole Miss has played against. So we'll see exactly how that looks. I think it would be interesting. Like I said, I do want to apologize for the audio. There's nothing I can do about that this time. I can make sure that I take advantage. I had extra programs open, and that processing power kind of screws up the audio from time to time, and a mistake on my part. But Ole Miss at number 16, I think you can see exactly where Ole Miss would be. I apologize for that. We are going to have the SEC squad show that I'm about to record that's airing Thursday. We'll have Will Flowers tomorrow night. We will have Michael Katz on Friday night. No Tom Vanderford this week. Mayor of Corinth. Tom had a heart attack this week. He's doing okay. He's doing fine. He's posting on Twitter and all that. All the best wishes for Tom Vanderford, but he's not going to be around this week, and we'll have John Macon Gillespie for the pregame show on Saturday morning. Like I said, I apologize for the audio. I understand that it is bad and is not good. There's nothing that I can do without starting the stream over. If that happens, we would be problematic at that, especially for a 30 minutes. So I am wanting to say about that. So we will look at all that stuff. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will talk again tomorrow afternoon, and we'll also look at what's going on later on in the week. Hope everybody enjoys this. Ole Miss has a realistic chance to win this football game. A real chance. this game. And I'm not saying they will, but they have a good chance. Until then, until all the shows that we have this week, thank you very much. See you later. Hotty toddy, everyone.